combat system.com. I'm going to show you the proper way of doing a rear naked choke versus the common ways. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. Got a big guy like this. I better be able to use lion choke in Brazilian Portuguese. It's the Monte Leon, the lion tamer, because it is such a killer if you do it right. A lot of people out there are teaching it and doing it wrong. Here is the wrong way, the easy way people teach, the lazy, the bouncer way, the WWE John Cena way. Okay? Grab your bicep, put it behind his head. Use a lot of power. That is not a good choke. That is not a good choke. Here, there is a lot of space. If you see my arm here, there's a lot of space in here. What I want to do is have everything tight. I don't just want to choke his throat. It's not even just these two main arteries, but the neck has a bunch of billion little arteries in the back. I actually want to like do this around his neck and take up all the space. But I'm going to use my arms to do it. I want to compress them on all sides. I want to take up all that space and make your choke good. So number one is not grab your bicep. Everyone teaches it just because it's easy, and that's lazy because it's hard to unlearn muscle memory when you get higher rank and better in grappling. So do not do this, but instead get used to driving your chokes in like a knife hand. That way if his chin was down, I can try to snake it in. And I'm going to go as deep as possible so my elbow is going to go to the front of his throat. Okay, so here, I'm going to go deep in and get my elbow to the front of his throat. I'm going to try, he's a big guy, I'm going to try to get to my shoulder. Now anytime you do a choke, you're going to put your head by his head to finish it. It's an intimate thing, you want to be closer, you can whisper in his ear. I'm going to bring my hand to my shoulder, towards my shoulder, the upper part of the bicep. Now I'm going to weave it in. This is step one. The hand goes behind the head. So rotate around if you need to a little bit, here and there, here and there. The hand is going to go to the behind the head, sideways or fist. Sideways because if I do this versus this, there's 2 more inches of pushing his head forward, taking up space. So I try to weave it in. This is step one. Step two is pinch your elbows together, and then step 3 is compress. Now, everyone does not do step 2. Step 2 is pinching your elbows together. That takes up the space. Before you use any muscular power, before you use any energy, don't waste your energy. Do things structurally. Do things with proper body and biomechanics. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to weave this in, and I'm going to pinch my elbows together. See, he's already tapping. I didn't even try to tap him out yet. All I did was do structure. Structure is very easy. I do the like chicken wing dance here, and I shove my elbows together. Instead of this with all the space, by doing this and putting elbows together, step 2, there's only this little space for his neck. Now, this time I'm not going to put my elbows together so much, but I'll show you the finishing move. The finishing part, in a real fight, if he's really tough, I'm going to have to shove his head forward and scissor back this. So it's this. So the finish is just forward and back. It's really like a scissors. Okay? But step 1 is have your bicep. Step 1 is to your shoulder. Step 2 is weave it in. Not this way, but sideways. Is really part of step 1. Just so you know, sideways. Step 2 is pinch your elbows together. Most people will tap out there. And step 3, if you need it, the guy's really tough, you can push his head forward and suck it back a little bit. It's going to be nasty a couple times. So I'm in. My elbows to the front of his throat. I am my shoulder. I'm weaved in. The hand is now sideways. Now I'm ready to put him to sleep. I pinch my elbows together and I compress at the same time. So I'm going to push his head forward and scissor this back into the artery, the wrist bone we use on short chokes. So this is the proper way of doing a rear naked choke. In on the shoulder, here, weave it behind. Okay, now I'm also going to hide my chin. Again, I talked about whispering in his ear. The chin is going to cover my hand. That way he can't peel 2-on-1 defense off. If I'm here, go ahead and peel with my hand. Both hands, 2-on-1. Peel off. Boom, that stinks. That happens all the time, especially in MMA with the glove. Because with the glove, it's hard to weave the hand behind. It actually helps in MMA. The gloves help you defend the rear naked choke. So if I'm in here though, if I hide my chin under, it's going to be too late for him. You can't peel it off if my chin's on top. So weave in, get deep, get the hand sideways, Put your chin on top, weave the elbows together, and then compress at the end if you need to, still trying to keep your elbows together. So there's a proper rear naked choke. I'm going to show a couple variations of chokes. Here, since I'm used to digging in and going deep, if I needed to access a weapon, cop hold, I could do a one-handed choke this way. If he peeled the hand off, because I didn't quite get my chin on top, right as he peels it, I'm going to switch it back to a short choke and go to a short choke with the wrist on the throat. So there is just, some things you're going to go to later on. But most guys are teaching this, and yeah, you might type beginner because it hurts, but it's not a real good compression choke. You want to dig in deep, grab here, be tight to him, be able to whisper in his head, and so he can't peel it off. And that's a proper rear naked choke. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my YouTube page. Thanks.